What kind of person are you? Are you confident, kind, independent? Or do you have low self-esteem? Well, who you are and how you react to other people may have something to do with how you were brought up. Hi guys, welcome to Daddy Directive. Today, I'm going to talk about different parenting styles and how it contributes to what kind of person you may become as an adult. My twins are now almost 1 year old, and it is about time my wife and I have to start thinking about how we're going to approach when it comes to balancing between the act of love and discipline. The ultimate goal as a parent is to raise a healthy, happy, kind, and responsible person. And hopefully, they will also love you back. Well, the last part is more of a selfish wish for any parents, but if you do it right, it should work out that way. The theory on different parenting styles was initially proposed by a developmental psychologist named Diana Baumrind in the 1960s, which was later expanded by Maccoby and Martin in the 1980s. The four parenting styles are authoritative, authoritarian, permissive, and neglectful. The styles are determined basically by two factors: how responsive you are to the child's emotional and developmental needs, and how demanding you are when it comes to the child's behavior or maturity. As an authoritative parent, you're very responsive to child's emotional and developmental needs. But at the same time, you demand structure, so you would set rules and boundaries, but you also provide reasoning and explanation to the child for these rules. The key to this parenting style is that there is a bi-directional communication between the parents and the child. Aw, you want the snack? It's almost time for lunch, so how about I give you a half for now and give you more after lunch? Deal? No? Based on research, children with authoritative parents tend to be happier, more independent, have good self-esteem, do better academically, and are less prone to depression, anxiety, and substance abuse. Authoritarian parents, on the other hand, tend not to be as nurturing. They are typically less responsive to child's emotional and developmental needs, while focusing more on demanding very high standards and demanding it with absolute obedience. If there is any attempt to reason with them, it would be perceived as backtalk. They only allow one-way communication through rules. Aw, you want the snack? Well, you can't have it, because it's before meal. No snacks before meal. Why? Because I said so. End of discussion. Children who have authoritarian parents tend to be unhappy, less independent, low self-esteem, lack social skills, and more likely to suffer from depression, anxiety, and substance abuse. Permissive parents are just as responsive to the child as authoritative parents. However, the key difference is that they have very few rules, and they are reluctant to enforce those rules. These are the parents who want to be their child's BFFs, rather than a parent who says no. You want the snack? Here you go. You can have this, and Daddy gets this.
No snacks before lunch.
Children who have permissive parents tend to be worse at self-control, show selfish tendencies, and have a hard time following the rules. Neglectful parents are not responsive to child's needs, and they don't set boundaries or high standards either. This style of parenting is often seen in parents with either who have issues that they have to solve through themselves, or parents who are super focused on their career and don't have time for their children. No. I meant take the long position, not the short. What do you mean we are out of money already? Honey, why do you have a baby in the house? Children who have neglectful parents tend to have harder time controlling their emotions, more impulsive, prone to substance abuse, and more likely to exhibit suicidal tendencies as a teenager. So which parenting is best? Well, if you haven't guessed by now, over decades of studies from all over the world, the general consensus is that the authoritative parenting tends to be the best for the kids. But there are some exceptions. For example, best academic performances wasn't always linked with authoritative parenting style, when ethnic and socio-economic factors were also considered. In fact, Asian American students tend to perform better under authoritarian parents, while in Spain, permissive and authoritative parenting styles actually yielded best academic results. But personally, I don't think one can gauge the success of a parenting style directly with how well the child performs academically. There are just so many more aspects that would determine whether a person will be happy and responsible with their lives other than academic performance. Like many Asians in our generations, both my wife and I grew up with a rather authoritarian parents. And as a kid, I felt like I always had to kind of tiptoe around my parents. And now that I'm a parent myself, it makes me deeply think about what kind of parenting style that I need to approach my kids with. It's easy to overcompensate from one type of parenting to the other. For example, I have to make a conscious effort not to become a parent who is too permissive. That comes about as an attempt to be less of an authoritarian parent that I grew up accustomed to. Understand that there is no cookie cutter way to be the perfect parent. The key is being educated yourself and then understanding all the factors when it comes to your child. Their tendencies to certain personality traits, cultural backgrounds, and socio-economic circumstances. In the end, approach it with love and I'm sure you will most likely be on the right track. This was Daddy Directive. I hope you found the information useful. And if you did, please hit that like button and subscribe for more videos in the future. Thanks guys, and happy parenting.